tell you what, one thing for sure, maybe we won't mention this, I'm going to leave this subject alone. But there's times like this I really miss Bobby. He sure was able on the camera and the mix downs. When you have to do this stuff on your own, you miss him. Anyway, moving on to a subject that we got into today. As you see my video this morning, I said there were people in the house. What we're doing a renovation of the house. We're doing a renovation of painting, carpentry work, a little bit of plumbing, stuff like that. We're doing, got a lot of people around the house. And the other day I actually had someone send me a comment on my Mr. Happy video. And normally I blow that off because obviously, I mean, let's get right down to it. Nobody likes a pedophile. Anybody that likes a pedophile or tries to defend a pedophile can look like a damn fool. But this person did ask a question that was very profound, actually. And the question was, if it's legal to lay with a girl in a hotel in the Philippines, then why is it illegal if a girl that same age is in the United States, you do the same action, and there's a state law, not even a national law, but a state law that forbids it. And at first I jumped up, I thought, well, that's real easy, but it's not real easy. You know, we're dealing with human beings here, we're dealing with lives. I mean, some guy's 40 years old, gets tangled up with a 16-year-old girl who's been on the street for a year making her own way in California, and his whole life is ruined. And I made a little joke about cutting the old weenie off and everything, but honestly, what I was talking about was 10-year-olds and 9-year-olds, little girls. And I don't think there's any gray area in there. I'm not even going to joke about that. Anybody that manipulates a child 9 or 10 years old, a girl like that, has a serious mental issue, and they seriously have to address it one way or the other. However, all these people that are hanging around the house, I put the question to people. We convened a committee here in Austin, consisting of 2 plumbers, 3 painters, 2 sheetrock workers, and a couple of yard guys from the golf course here. And we came up with an idea that would probably help this issue of people getting in trouble for various underage girls. First off, we think that there needs to be a national standard. We came up with what we consider to be the National Pussy Act. Okay, the National Pussy Act will license pussies, so that if a woman possesses this license, that means that she's perfectly capable of having sex, consensual sex. Okay, and that if somebody comes along and says, well, she's not of age in our state, well, it's okay, she has a national pussy license in her wallet or purse, she's good to go. Now, we came up with a whole lot of standards. There was more standards than this. It's probably rewritten several times, but this is the basic idea that we came up with. First off, the base age should be at least 16, and that we based that on Chuck Berry's Sweet 16. When a girl turns 16, they're generally about as tall as they're ever going to get, and they begin to fill out and everything and looking real good. So that's about as young as you're going to really get a girl where she's capable of being active. Okay, 16. But Sweet 16 should be, you got to be at least 16 to achieve a license. You can't get a hardship license at 14 or 13 or anything like that. You have to be 16 years old. Okay. One of the plumbers, having dug out a lot of stuff in sewers, he said that there should be some hair, but we agreed that this wasn't an absolute requirement, that it can be slight hair or no hair or blonde hair, whatever, but it should be some hair. That helps to identify, you know, the girls of her physical age has advanced. Okay. Somebody said absolutely no braces. If you're wearing braces, that will either, you will not be licensed, or that will nullify your license while the braces are on your teeth. Okay. There's no previous experience required. You don't have to take a test, driver's test or anything. But exemptions can be made for girls with babies or pregnant ones. Now, like I said, it gets a little sticky with girls that are under 16, and we're not even going to get into that and everything. We're just going to, we're not even going to issue a license under 16. They have to have at least one mouth full of tits. At least that's one mouthful is required. A mouth and a half is a lot better, but at least one mouthful. And I know what you're saying. There are some women, like poor Jackie, she had none. There's some women that have none. Well, our feeling on that was that if a woman doesn't have any tit, she doesn't need to be breeding anyway, because all she's going to do is make more babies with no tit. So here we're trying to get quality, more quality out there. Okay. All due respect to Jenny Craig, and can't be overweight, and we really like not issuing a license. Like people over 80 can't drive. Well, menopause, that's kind of the end of the license. You've screwed enough. You don't need to be out there fucking when you're that old. And I know we're going to hit some resistance on that, but that's driving an overage pussy can be hazardous for everybody's health. Okay. Now, surprisingly, we got a consensus that mental stability is not a requirement. And what it was is one of the sheetrock workers told us that he shacked up with an insane woman for about 6 months. He told us all these stories, and we said, well, how'd you stand it? How could you tolerate being with a woman who was mentally unstable? He said, that's real simple. Have you ever fucked crazy? Once you fuck crazy, you'll never go back to straight. Okay. Now, I'm not going to name any names here. Okay. In due respect to everybody's rights, a marriage license will cancel a pussy license, but it also excuses any previous sexual activity. In other words, you can't be bringing up anything that happened under the pussy license, between the pussy license and the marriage license. That's not cool. Okay. Also, just like inspections, any pussies that are oversized or become oversized stand a chance of losing their license. They need to get a little tightened up. Okay. Any STD is a moving violation and will lead to a revocation of the pussy license. Any STD. Okay. Now, in the spirit of Austin, lesbian activity does not automatically lead to pussy license revocation. This will be taken on a case-by-case basis and will depend on age, weight, and tit size. So we had to get into divorces. A divorced pussy is automatically relicensed and no application is needed. Just notify your local county office. When your divorce becomes final, they will notify the pussy licensing authority and automatically relicense your pussy. A remarried pussy, however, retains that license until menopause. Okay. There's a couple of exemptions here. All girls from Orange County, California, or Austin, Texas, are automatically licensed for life from the age of 16 until 1 year after the last plastic surgery. Then the license remains good. Okay. Oral sex does not constitute the use of a properly licensed pussy. Okay. In Arkansas, brothers cannot make use of a sister's license. This also goes for Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, except at Mardi Gras time, and then only between the hours of 2 and 5, and never in the parent's house. In Nevada, prostitutes are required to apply for a commercial license if they're going to carry 10 or more passengers in a 12-hour period. We had to address the religious issue, folks, as we have issues here with the federal laws and everything. Muslims and fundamentalist Mormons are required to license every pussy of every wife after the first one. Okay. Now, we don't know if the first one dies, you may have to marry the second one and license the others, or what, but if you have women in your house using pussies, they have to be licensed, except for the one that's married under United States law. She doesn't have to be licensed, unless she's divorced and remarried, and under the previous chapter, she has to be licensed. Then I guess all of them will be licensed. Okay. And any man who lies about his size will automatically have to relicense his wife at his expense after the advent of the boyfriend. Now, these are just a few of the ideas that we got. There's probably a lot more areas that we need to cover, but you've got to understand that we were actually working on another project at the same time. These ideas were floating up at different times and everything. And I know that some of this may be a little hard for people to take, a lot of, for people to understand. But I think, personally, that pussy licensing really needs to come into its own. That there's just far too many unlicensed pussies running around this country. And that once we get pussy licensing in effect, then we won't have any more problems with people doing things that they shouldn't do. And it'll make women feel more like they've got a little say in things. You know what I mean? So, y'all have a good day, and see you on the flip side. Live my life in a casual